Hi Virgo, welcome to March 2020. My name is Flo and it's Flo in the Moon, and I'm going to be doing your tarot forecast for the month of March. Just going to light a bit of Palo Santo. I've been doing readings all day today, so I just need to clear the energy to get ready for your sign. So this is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. It's also time stamped for the month of March. However, whenever you're drawn here, you're meant to hear it. We get so caught up into the concept of time, but time doesn't really exist outside of our reality. Okay, so also welcome cross watchers if you're here watching on behalf of someone else. Okay. Right, so I'm actually going to be doing your reading a little bit different this month. My dreams are usually quite vivid and almost like prophecy. So I've been called to share it with you this time. And the interesting thing was, I went to bed knowing who or what signs I'll be doing readings for today. And there was somebody in the dream that was representing that sign in the dream last night. So if this doesn't make sense, you're not meant to listen or to hear it, but like I said again, because it's a general reading, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. All right, so the first part of the dream, there was a person holding a wheel, probably about that big, and the wheel each had a little, they looked like flames, excuse me, but they weren't flames, they were solid, but it was the shape of a flame. And so they were all over the wheel. And each of those flames had a color assigned to it. And I realized that each of those colors were the colors of our chakras. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, indigo, right? So this wheel was being spun, which is telling me that it's really important to keep our chakras aligned, especially since all the energy is happening right now with the Pisces energy, because the Pisces energy is quite strong, obviously right now as I'm recording this, but throughout most of the month of March until the very end of it, until the end of it when Aries kicks in, but it's still quite strong. And with this Mercury retrograde that's happening at the moment as well, there can be times where we can feel ungrounded. There's a lot of really, even if you can't even explain it, I'm explaining it on a cosmic spiritual level, but you might even realize it in your day-to-day world, you know. So it's really important for your chakras to remain in alignment. Do some yoga, do some meditation, do some exercising, get those energies moving. If you are, you know, really grounded in the material world, it can be quite heavy there. So, you know, work and earthly desires, eating, you know, that kind of thing, you need to bring it up and start thinking, speaking your truth, being more confident, insight, intuition, wisdom. All of that is up in the higher chakras. Your heart chakra is the harmonizer. It's the in-between. And we can only access the upper chakras through the heart. So it's really important to have the heart as that harmonizer, as the in-between. And also if you're a very spiritually inclined person and you're working with the mind, it's important to ground yourself in reality and ground yourself in our 3D world. Get yourself back in your body. You know, it's really easy to be spiritual and just be meditating all the time and being stuck in the ether. And I've learned that the hard way of, you know, feeling really ungrounded. But you do need to harmonize that and do things that bring you back down to earth. You know, do some exercise, have some sex, you know, things like that. Stay grounded, go for walks in nature. I mean, where I am, it's kind of stormy and it's really terrible outside, but there are ways to get those energies moving and use the heart chakra as the key, right? And I think this is relevant for all the signs today. next part is there was a group of us that went for a meal, and we ended up leaving early because the hotel that we were all staying at, we had to check out, and we didn't actually have our meal because it was taking too long and we needed to leave because I guess we got mixed up with the time. And this is a really direct message having to do with the retrograde, right? So like, be really clear where your timing is, you know, be really clear with all of that stuff. Like if you've got something to hand in, give yourself some extra time because you're bound to have some hiccups. Beware of information not being quite clear at the moment, because we weren't really clear in the dream of, and I think all of a sudden it was just like, oh, we gotta go, we can't have this food, even though it was like, oh, we needed it, but you know, the timing was off. It's not the right time. And also the hotel that we were staying in, it was blue, right? So everything was blue. The ceiling, the floor, the walls, the furniture was blue, and there were puddles of water everywhere, which tells me Pisces energy is very strong. You know, Pisces energy is really dominating at the moment, at least at the start of the month, and then things are going to start to clear up. So just be kind to yourself, be aware of all of these things that are happening, and it happens so we can really delve into ourselves, our innermost thoughts, and work through anything that needs to be worked through. I know people really hate the retrograde, but the whole point of the retrograde is because we're so focused on moving forward, going forward, forward. Sometimes we need to stop and just take a review everything that's happened and make sure that all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted. Does that make sense? Anyway, I've done a lot of talking about that. Let's do your tarot reading and see how some of these energies can play through in your reading. This reading is for Virgo. 10 of Cups. Ooh, good start. And there was another one that came up. Ooh, 10 of Wands. So, you know, things are going well at home. It might be a little bit stressful, but it's all for good, right? There's the Queen of Wands. Maybe you're dealing with fire energy, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. You know, you could be dealing with fire energy, or this could be you, like being that creative, charismatic person in charge. Let's get another card. Come on, guides. There we are. King of Swords, air energy. Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Are you in a partnership with this king? It could also just be the situation where you've had to separate your head from your heart and just work on logic. Okay. Another card, please. That one wants to come out. Oh, there's two. Okay, so we've got the Knight of Pentacles. That goes with your overall energy. So it's like you're working on stability and the long term. Very earthy, very Virgo. That could be you right in the center there. You know, it could be you are stable. He's the slowest moving knight in the deck, and he moves with purpose. There isn't anything that he would do that's too risky or too wild. It's all purposeful. And he's looking into the future with his pentacle in his hand. Looking into the future. Thinking of what he's doing now is for the future. Okay. Very much you. Six of Pentacles. The card of giving and receiving. The card of giving and receiving. Maybe you're in a position to start helping other people with your stability, and you know, with that stable energy, you are the type of person that people are going to come to, aren't you? Inability to move on. Six of Swords, and that's towards the end of the month. Four of Wands towards the end of the month. Are you moving? Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Definitely could see that. Maybe things have gotten, your family has outgrown. Your family has outgrown your certain place, and you know, you're trying to make a concrete choice. Sort of helping everyone out. You're trying to move on. Maybe this energy is sort of holding you back because you're sort of like helping everybody else around you. It's actually preventing you from moving on to your new home, right? One more card, please. Here we go. And we've got the Hierophant. And, you know, I know how much Virgos love structure, but this in its position today is almost telling you to look outside of the box. You can color outside of the lines once in a while to get things done and to move forward. And in certain cases, you need to do that. You know, and maybe the Hierophant holds the key, and maybe this is the key to enable you to move on to that new life you want. Oh, bottom of the deck. 6 of Cups. This is the soulmate card for me, but also in relation to this, because you've got the 10 of Cups at the beginning. I'm reading this and the stability and all of this like stuff having to do with the house. I'm reading this as kids. Like you're really keeping your kids in mind. Obviously when you're moving, right? Your family and your kids are very important to you. And that's sort of the reason why you need this stability. There's also like, you can see this as like a mother and child in the boat being steered onto calmer waters, but you've got some inability to do that. Let's see what's blocking it. Okay, so what's the 10 of Cups? 10 of Cups, please. Let's take that one. We've got the Fool, new beginnings. If you want new beginnings with your family, get it. It's exactly what we were talking about. Maybe like I said, maybe you've outgrown where you're living. And you know, this is also moving. You can see, you know, when you move heavy boxes, right? So he's moving and you see that little house in the distance. Could be moving, or at least thinking about moving. Page of Pentacles. Getting that stability, really starting to investigate it. Yeah. What's 10 of Wands? Ooh, we've got the Hierophant again in its reverse. So you may have realized already that you need to sort of question the status quo in whatever your quest is. I actually really like the Hierophant in reverse, but I'm also Aquarian. I've got Sagittarius rising. I had my birth chart done, and I have a lot of revolutionary energy in my chart, which is like, I mean, the reason why I like it is because this is so revolutionary. It's like outside of the norm. You're questioning the status quo, and that's what I'm all about. I love it. But I know for Earth energy, it might not always be that way. Okay, so what is the Queen of Wands? You know, in every reading I've done so far, the 5 of Cups has come up. There's a lot of that, a lot of grieving, a lot of sadness, a lot of forgiveness happening. And I'm pretty certain it has a lot to do with the, not pretty certain, I am certain now that it has to do with the Pisces energy. Because there's a lot of that. I mean, Pisces energy is asking us to take a deep dive into our psyche and figure out all of this emotional stuff. And that's bound to come up, right? The 5 of Cups. So maybe maybe you've had to forgive this queen, this fire energy, or even forgive yourself. Let go of something that wasn't serving you. Yeah. King of Wands, reversed. and the Ten of Pentacles. So whatever this is, like maybe it was like a business venture you've had to reconcile. It's affected you financially. Maybe there was some sort of business venture that you had to let go of, or maybe there's something, some sort of partnership that you've had to get into in order to get this abundance, in order to have all this money for you to move forward. Okay, what's the King of Swords? What is the King of Swords? It's way too many. These cards are getting really beat up now. King of Swords. Come on. I just need one. There we are. Hanged Man. New perspectives. I feel like, especially with the swords energy and especially with this imagery on there, he's very commanding and almost like a guard, right? Like stopping you, stopping things from happening too erratically. And he's like, stop, think about it first. Think about it. Think about it. And that's where these new perspectives come from. When you stop for a minute and really just assess where you've come. I mean, this is very Virgo, isn't it? It's like very meticulous, this reading. It's very meticulous. Nothing seems to be out of order. Everything is like you're planning for it. These are the areas that you might have need to do to prepare for it. And now you're really just like thinking about it. Okay, what's the Knight of Pentacles about? Well, you've got a few cards, and I'll do these ones that turn up right. Yeah, new beginnings. You're looking for that happiness. And the Emperor in its reverse. You know, I always find the Emperor quite oppressive, but in your case, in this reading, it actually works really well because it's like you need that stability. From what I'm seeing here, it's like the vibe of the family, you need that stability, and you're kind of getting yourself in order. You may have even gone into partnership with this business, this bigger business, to do that, to secure the future well-being of your family, right? What's the Six of Pentacles about? Ooh, yes, money. Yeah. Things have turned, you know. Maybe you were the one receiving this sort of, this injection of funds from somebody. Not to say that things were going badly for you, but the way that I'm seeing it is that things are really going to start to pick up, you know. Again, you need to think about it. It's funny. As soon as there's a card that's kind of like swift and action, it's like, no, wait, we got to think about it. We got to think about it. And this is true earthly, earth sign ways of just like being stable, and let's think about it and make sure that we're making the right choice, right? So what's the Six of Swords all about? It was very different from the Leo reading beforehand, because Leo was all about action. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And this one is like, okay, I'll stop talking. Let's do it. What's the Six of Swords? Confidence and money. Like you feel like you don't have enough money to move forward. But let me tell you, I think it's coming. It looks like it is. Yeah, you want to take some action, but you're being patient with it because you still don't feel like you have enough money to move forward. What's the Four of Wands? Four of Wands, please. Let's get some clarity. Don't want to come up. There it is. Page of Wands. Feeling like a bit of a novice? Maybe. But you're taking a step forward. It's a little step forward, and you've got the sort of drive to do it, to make these things happen. Yeah. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of kids involved here, right? You want to take some action, but you're really being mindful of the kids because you've just got 2 pages happening under the home card, the card of the house, and the 8 of Wands is all about delays. But I don't even think it's delays in your case. I think you're just being cautious. That's the vibe I'm getting. What's the Hierophant? Yeah, with the reading or with the dream is all about like timing, right? We went for the meal. Things weren't happening on time. We had to leave prematurely before the meal started. So that's about timing. You know, getting everything right. And this is definitely what I'm getting here from you. It's like you just want to make sure that everything is in place before you actually take that step forward. And I can actually see how the Hierophant in reverse can make you a little bit uncomfortable because you might have to resort to doing something that's outside of what the book says. You know, being a little bit rogue about it. So what's the Hierophant? Come on. What's the Hierophant? The Chariot. The Chariot in reverse. In its upright, it's like the head and the heart is working together for a goal. And you're very ambitious. The other way around, it's almost like things are just not clear enough. They're not really working in sync. The head and heart, they're not really working in sync. Therefore, you could be going all over the place with that. It's also the sign of Cancer. So I don't know if you're working with the Cancer on that. And maybe even thinking outside of the box is outside of your comfort zone. And definitely the Chariot the other way, like reversed like this, it can be really uncomfortable because it's not really harmonizing with who you are. But you can get out of your head about it and just go with it. And it's looking like you will. That's the Eight of Swords in its reverse. All right. So, you know, I'm seeing that family is really important to you and you're looking to make some moves. You may have joined working in a partnership, a business partnership with somebody, so then you can actually like pool your funds and get something together a little bit more solid because you're thinking about your future. You want to get that stability. You want your family to be really safe. I see a little boy and a little girl here, but obviously it can be any, right? And the girl is younger, the boy is older. It can be any. But anyway, so I see children there. Yeah, you want to move forward. You want to take action, but you're being very cautious, and rightly so. Especially with Mercury retrograde, which goes on until like the first week and a bit of March. It's never. Oh, and then there's also that period after it when there's still this cosmic dust sort of like coming up on about it, that it's still not a great idea to sign anything big, make any huge purchases, because it's just going to, you might end up just making more mess. You might have to clean up more mess in the end anyway. Let's just get a little bit of advice for the month of March 2020 for Virgo. This is the Return of Spirit deck. Oop. Storm. Right? This card is all about weathering the storm, and from what I see in your reading is actually not that bad. You're just being cautious. You're just being cautious. But I kind of feel like going with this Mercury retrograde energy that I was talking about, that can be a little bit stormy for some people, and it's never really a good idea to make any big financial decisions around that time and a period of time after that. So you will need to ride that storm until you can actually take action on anything. And that's where I see that one coming in. All right. Well, think that was a good reading. So thank you so much for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe so other people can enjoy this reading. You can follow me on Instagram, flow_and_the_moon, where I do daily tarot pulls. Yeah, until next time, I will see you in April. Much love. Bye.